one of the biggest lies in church music or in the church is that we say talent equals anointing. And I've seen so many musicians who will go on and pray for 1 hour, but they won't practice they can't even practice for like 10 minutes. And I've seen some that will practice for 2 hours, but they can't play they will practice for 2 hours, but they can't pray for 10 minutes. Now, where do we strike a balance? Because the truth is, God never asked us to equate or to pick between skill and spirituality. He wanted both as excellence. And one thing is, for me, I see it as a disservice to the skill if you prioritize anointing to your prior practice time. I feel you are dishonoring the skill or the gift. But then when you don't also pray and prioritize practice, I feel you are dishonoring God. So where do we strike the balance as church musicians, whereby when we talk about skill and anointing, do we put it in the same sentence? Should we just say they are anointed, or should we just say they are talented?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. It's a very, very profound question. And permit me to go deeper than religion, because I presume some people that might not be Christians might also be listening to this, and they might be musicians and all those things. So permit me to go deeper than religion. And the reason why I'm going deeper than religion is I'm going to strip off all the old truths.
We want that here. We want that.
All the old truths from it. And I'm going to hit the nail on the head immediately, simply. Without the work, you can't see the works. It's impossible. You have to do the work. It's like exactly.
Faith without works is dead.
It's like driving. If you've never gone behind a wheel, a steering wheel behind the car, if you've not sat behind the car, no matter how many YouTube videos, how many tutorials, how many prayers you pray, you can never know how to drive. It's binary. That's why I'm saying I'm going deeper than religion, because this is something that whether you pray, and permit me to be very, very blunt here. Yes, the religious part, whether you are Christian or Muslim or whatnot, by the time you've done your practice and you are skilled, you can layer that on top of it. But the basis is you have to do the work, the practice itself. And don't get me wrong, because this is where people miss it, especially musicians. They think, let me go crazy. They do 5 hours of practice, 10 hours of practice at once. Now, after they've done that 10 hours of practice today, they are tired. Tomorrow, they are thinking, they have to do another 10 hours of practice and whatnot. Now, the person who does 1 minute of practice, okay, 1 minute is too small. The person who does 5 minutes of practice every day for 1 year, we beat you who has done practice of 20 hours stretch 4 or 5 times a year. Every day, every time. The rule is simple. Do this thing every day, you become good at it. Actually, anything. Permit me to say, not that anybody should use this. If you practice how to steal every day, you'll be a professional thief. Don't steal.
Please don't steal. Don't encourage violence here. Don't steal. But yeah, I'm listening.
But yes, at the end of the day, do that thing every day, no matter how tired you are. It's psychologically, because you are doing that thing under different conditions.
But let me cut you in there. One thing is, you see, when in most church setting, let me just use, sorry to use the gospel scene, all right? In most church setting, when someone walks in and then they see the pianist or the bassist or the MD, playing a lot of stuff, doing, playing crazy stuff, they'll be like, very anointed. Sometimes you do the riffs and runs, they're like, oh, very anointed. But then someone who does not do that but still practice daily, are we saying they are not anointed? Are we saying they are not talented?
Okay, let me strip the talent myth. Personally, permit me to be blunt. Personally, I'd say there's nothing like talent. Yeah, we explain. I know it.
I would disagree.
Yes, that's fine. I would explain.
Okay.
Let me explain. Then you let me know what does not flow with your own values and whatnot.
Okay.
The reason why I say talent is non-existent is It's part of the lies that we are trying to dissect now. Yes, you might be privileged. Maybe when you were younger, you might have had some patterns that might have laid the pathway for you, making recognition easier, pattern recognition easier for you or whatnot. But see that talent part, you cannot not do the work. Let me put it like that.
So are you saying that the longevity or the longevity of someone who is accrued to a half talent, if the person doesn't do the work, that so-called talent will seep out and be like,
Let me be practical. So
Okay.
I used to be before I got into business full time and whatnot, I used to be a saxophonist.
Okay.
And now as a saxophonist, when I finish playing for my clients internationally and whatnot, this thing is so common and I hear it a lot. Oh my God, you're so talented. You're so amazing. Oh my days, you're so lucky. And I'm saying to myself, no, it's not talent. I know the things I do in my koro, in the bedroom.
Koro means in the private chamber.
Yes.
Okay.
As of that time, I was practicing 2 hours per day
Wow.
to be on that level of skill.
So let's say you were practicing 2 hours per day. So that's 2 times 365 days.
No, I'm even getting somewhere. Mine is even still nothing. Great musicians, if you look at it, and let me use the ones that are in my own field, saxophonists. I'm sure this is relatable in any other field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlie Parker, most musicians that are jazz players know Charlie Parker, know John Coltrane, because they were gods of their time in terms of jazz and whatnot. They created things that till date we still use. Now, bear in mind, these people did not live long. I don't think any of them, both Charlie Parker and John Coltrane, live up to 40 years old.
Yeah.
But we still use their music today. Why? If you look at the history, I think it's Charlie Parker, and I might be wrong.
Even your small wood.
I might be wrong. Charlie Parker, I think, practiced about, if I'm going to put numbers to it, about 11 to 15 hours every day for 4 years straight.
Wow.
Got the police called on him. The neighbors complained and whatnot. But that is the price for greatness. Now, let me now go the final level, which I've not gotten to. Now, I myself as a saxophonist, before I became on that level of skill whereby I was able to perform for international clients, not flinch, confident, I'm on ground, I hit the ground running and whatnot. I used to pray every end of the year, God, please make me the best saxophonist in the world. It was my prayer point for about 5 years, 6 years straight.
Okay.
But nothing happened. And I will pray it and pray it and pray it. I will cry.
So are you saying prayer doesn't? Okay, I'm listening.
Prayer works, religion works. And that's why I'm not saying Christianity or this, because they are different religions, but it works only if
it works.
It's that if it's a criteria first. Because that time I was praying, nothing happened. But by the time I started practicing 2 hours per day, 3 hours per day, and we musicians.
Okay, wait, before you continue. You know, I watched the recent experience and likes of Mike Abdul. Is it no, not Mike Abdul. Mike Aremu, a saxophonist, minister that they experienced, played a lot of stuff. Yeah, some called it maybe it's the sound that messed him up. Some people are saying, oh, the sound on that stage maybe messed him up. But then with all the riffs and runs it did, I didn't see any wow. He's one. I'm using the example because he's in the saxophone.
Absolutely.
He's one of the guys you guys look up to in Nigeria. He's one of the best saxophonists in Nigeria. But then when he played and did his own routine, there was no wow effect to me. But then when someone like Akporo is not a saxophonist, I don't think he's a pianist. He literally just performed a stem track, but carried the audience along at the stage presence. Now, would we say Mike Aremu is not talented because he didn't move the crowd, or because I don't know if you get where I'm driving at?
Absolutely. Now, I'll be very honest, I've not seen this thing, but I'm going to talk from, and it's a good thing I've not seen it, because I can talk from a non-biased point of view. And it's simple. And that's why I'm hammering on the work has to be done, the deed has to be done, the practice has to be done, and it's a must. Every great, and I'm saying every great musician knows the cost, the price to be paid. And musicians, don't be fooled. This is the price to pay.
Please say that again. Say that again.
Musicians, don't be fooled. This is the price to pay for greatness. Every great person knows it. And if you want to be great, it's better you know it. Because if you don't know it, you will just be praying in vain. Nothing will happen. And if I'm going to go religious again, permit me, faith without works
is there.
Exactly. Now going to the mic, I remove something. See, when you do that practice that you are doing daily and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether he has been practicing up to that point or whatnot, but it doesn't matter. When you get to a stage of mastery, it becomes part of you. Now, when we are not promising that everything will go smooth all the time, but what I'm promising you is that your skill as a musician stops being external. You know, I said something that I said, they tell me, like, when I finish playing, oh, you're so amazing, you're so lucky. It could not go to my head. Because
you knew you had more works to be done.
Thank you. The skill itself, it's internal. The confidence, it's internal. Because confidence does not come on its own. Confidence comes from knowing that if you fail, you will stand up.
Hey.
So by the time...
Clock it.
As a musician, see, what you are, let me even go deeper to the basics. As a musician, what you are doing when you are practicing is you are training yourself to be comfortable with failure. Because you can never just see a keyboard for the first time, and no matter how God sent you are, you cannot just carry the keyboard and you already know where all the scales are. It's impossible.
Okay.
The first time you play, you will hear yourself fail. And these are both musicians, so by the time the first week, that's why you see a lot of people are interested. Oh, I want to learn the guitar, I want to learn the keyboard, I want to learn the saxophone. It's after 3 weeks, they've dropped it because they cannot face the failure. And this thing is continuous. You keep on failing. It's like this. You learn, you fail, there's feedback, you could recorrect, and that's it. And that's the pipeline for life. And you keep going through that loop.
So for those who like now, sorry to take you to another route now.
Absolutely.
I've been in concerts, festivals. Let me use the gospel scene, for example, whereby somebody comes to the stage, showcases all the 2 million things they've learned, they've worked hard for, the diminished scale, and then they're just like, okay, and then what? And then another person comes on board and just does simple melody, and then maybe the tone now is just amazing. The touch is just amazing. Okay, let me. There was something I was listening to recently, because I just want you to give your take on this. I see a lot of people who said that, oh, let's say someone like Nathaniel Bassey, there's an artist called Nathaniel Bassey comes in for your show, and immediately after him is SMJ. You know, SMJ now sings now with all the bang, all the overtures, all the intros and outros. Where do we draw the line? Would we say Nathaniel Bassey is more anointed than SMJ, or SMJ is more, because one prefers some sort of simplicity? I don't know. Please give your thoughts on this, because I know on this channel every musician, this is for you. I'm asking this question for you.
Yes, absolutely. What you've touched on is a matter of choice. As people that have come before us, our ancestors, as they say, one man's food
is another man's poison.
It's as simple as that. Some people, for myself, I love slow music that are emotional, like very, very emotionally charged. I don't know Portuguese language, but I listen to the song because it feeds my soul. I don't know the meaning of the words.
Okay.
But from the intonation, the smooth, the way the vowels links together, I really love it. Now, another person might love the bass. Another person might love the combination. But the one singular fact is, if you never, let me use food as an example. If you've never eaten rice, you can never know how rice tastes.
Yes,
so you need to experience it first. Then you can then tell, okay, I like this or I don't like this. And in the terms of who is more anointed and who is not more anointed, that one, we are not even talking, I won't say it's about even anointing or not anointing. Each has their own
lane.
Their specialty, their peculiarity. Each of them has their own sauce to it that makes them who they are.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
But the thing is, when we talk about excellence, when we talk about anointing, when we talk about pride, ego, discipline, and all these things that ties into one's musicianship, do you think anyone who does any busy riffs is more talented than those who don't do?
No. Simply speaking, it's a matter of, once again, we're going back to skill. It's a matter of what you've ingested, what you've digested.
Okay, which would you prefer, skill or anointing?
Skill.
Skill. Okay.
I'm going to be blunt. Skill.
So you prefer someone with skill than someone with the anointing?
Don't blur the line between skill, because that's what you're doing. That you're blurring the line between skill and anointing. Don't blur that line.
So they both go.
Don't blur that line. These things are so separate things. Now, skill is when you've done your work. You are confident from inside. No external person is telling you, oh, you are good and it's going to head down. You know what you've done in private. You know how many times you've failed and failed and failed and failed. And it gets to a stage whereby it becomes, and I touched on mastery. Mastery is a different topic on its own. When you get to mastery, you're not even thinking about it. It's flowing out by itself. And that's where anointing now comes to play. And anointing is specific to Christianity. I'm saying this cuts across
all spheres of life.
All religions, yes. Because a Muslim person now would sing, because they have this, their rhythmic singing and prayers.
Arabian skill.
And it's amazing. And that's where anointing comes to play.
You know, there's a video I watched recently, and the person was saying that, one of the guests was saying that there is a spirit backing every sound.
Absolutely.
Like, talking about that, I think they had a session about the power of music. So the person was saying that behind every music there is a spirit backing it. Like with the likes of Michael Jackson, I mean, people are fainting. This is back then in the 90s, 80s, I don't know when, but during the era of Michael Jackson, people are fainting. And till this day, we have some people who will still faint. I mean, there was this recent, just concluded show by Ashake, and then Wizkid was the surprise guest artist. People went bananas. So I feel with every sound, with every skill comes a spirit that backs it up.
Yes. When you've gotten to that level of mastery, and I'm saying specifically mastery. Mastery is when you've gone through that loop of effort, failure, feedback, then effort again. When you've gone through that loop multiple times, and I'm not saying 1 month, 2 months, I'm saying 2 years, 3 years, sometimes it might be for life. So now when you've gone through that loop of when you've gotten to that level of mastery, see, it's as I said before, it's flowing out. Anything you do, some you're not even conscious. Some, after you've done it, you will think and say, oh, was I the one who just did
that? Okay.
You think back that, did I just do this or did I just do that and whatnot? Once you've attained mastery, and another thing with mastery is once you've gotten to mastery, you cannot lose it, even if you want to. It's like someone who knows how to drive. You should leave driving for 5 years, for 10 years. You will still know how to drive.
Because it's already been ingrained in your DNA. Yeah.
Let me give another example. After I stopped playing the saxophone in 2024, around April, when I got back to Nigeria and whatnot, I stopped playing the saxophone. I focused fully on business. For 2 years straight, I was running business. Wow. And then one evening, a neighbor of mine, I had him playing the saxophone. So I whipped out my saxophone and I went there.
Without no practice?
I've not practiced I've not even touched the saxophone for almost 2 years.
Wow.
Now, I just listened, enjoying the vibes and whatnot. And by the time I started playing, the first 10 minutes was rusty and whatnot. But from there onwards, I was there playing for almost 3 hours.
What?
And it was so amazing. They were enjoying it. I myself was enjoying it. And that was when I got to the resolve that once you know something, it's part of you for life. And don't get me wrong, because I'm saying skill now, practice, mastery, someone would think is an enjoyable process. It's not going to be enjoyable. It's a painful process. Let me strip the myths.
It's a painful process.
It's a painful process.
Wow.
Because you are hearing your bad sound every time. And you still have to go back. And as I say, you are training for failure. That's what mastery is. A master is someone who knows and is confident that there is nothing that wants to happen that I cannot recover from. And that's why when you talked of Mike Aremuda, the crowd and whatnot, that's just one show. But guess what? I don't know. He might have done and cut me wrong. He might have done another show.
And
go and listen to that show.
Okay.
After that experience that he said he did, go and listen to another show he has done after that, and you see what I'm saying. Okay. It's effort, failure, feedback. And if it's not even feedback, I think it's not even failure. That feedback.
So whether positive or negative feedback, just keep on.
You will keep on. Even what is your practice? What is your practice? Is it not feedback?
It's feedback.
You hear yourself, and it's active. Nobody's lying to you.
So a word for our viewers out there, just a short word to anyone trying to be better at their craft, combining skill, effort, and with effort comes failure, comes feedback. How do they do it? Like just one word for them.
I'll make it very simple. I'm not here to be your friend though. I'm not even looking for friends. So that's why I'm going to strip it down. I'm going to make it very simple. See, you must have had it before. Hear it again. Whatever it is, whether it's music, whether it's instrument, whether it's business, whatever it is, good or bad, and it's law of nature, do it every day. Return to it every day. I call it the law of daily return. I wrote a small book about it one time ago. It's the law of daily return. Return to it every day. Do it every day, no matter how short. And I promise you, you'll be shocked at your progress in 1 year. Heck, you will go bananas at your progress in 10 years. Heck, you will lose your mind at your progress in 20 years. And it's as simple as that. You don't even need to learn all the skill at once. No, don't kill yourself. 5 minutes a day is enough if you are just doing it every day. 10 minutes a day is enough. And it gets to a stage that you've done it consistently. Maybe after 1 month, for some people it's 2 months, for some people it's 1 week, depending on how strong your will is it gets to a stage that you will do it too. That it becomes part of who you are. You cannot not do it because it's part of you. It's like erasing your whole self if you don't do it. Wow. If that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
When you get to that stage, you're on your path to mastery.
Wow. Amazing one from Erioluwa Adeola, one of the best in the industry, is a business tycoon and a musician himself. And I think we will expatiate more on this law of daily return in another video. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We out.